Hello everyone, in today's video I will briefly introduce you guys about the basics of conversation analysis, CA. CA is one of the classes offered in our department that you could take if you are in the linguistics track. This video could be helpful if you decide to take conversation analysis later on during the semester. First, in this video, basic theories of conversation analysis and historical origins will be briefly presented. Then second, we'll go over some methods in CA. Lastly, some transcription symbols will be presented. What comes up in your mind when you hear conversations? Conversation lies at the core of human social interactions. We use talk to argue, to complain, to justify, to entertain, and so on. CA is an approach within the social sciences that aims to describe, analyze, and understand talk as a basic and constitutive feature of human social life. Moving on to the historical origins. Conversation analysis CA emerged in the 1960s through the collaboration of Harvey Sachs and Emanuel Shegloff and Gail Jefferson. CA drew inspiration from two important sociologists named Erving Goffman and Harold Garfinkel. In 1963, Garfinkel invited Sachs to work on a project with a suicide prevention program. This work was important because it got Sachs interested in working with recordings and it made him deal with the basic features of talk and interaction. The first lecture in Sachs' collected lecture was called Rules of Conversational Sequence, and that's how CA first began through telephone conversations. Now let's go over some methods in CA. Conversation analysis is a set of methods for working with audio and video recordings of talk and social interaction. The first step is acquiring data. First, you have to acquire recordings of talk and interaction. Second is transcribing and making observations. Conversation analysis involves making transcripts of recorded talks. One has to hear very subtle nuances of intonation and breath and pacing because these can turn out to be consequential for how talk is heard by its recipients. And third step is observation as a basis for theorizing. During this step, one has to find patterns within the data they have collected. Fourth is making collections. And lastly, developing an analysis. Once a collection is assembled, one has to work on developing the analysis. When you have collected your data and you're in the stage of transcribing, it is important for you to understand some transcription symbols. The first one is overlap. The square brackets indicate onset and offset of overlapping talk. Next one is equal sign. This equal sign indicates no gap of silence between utterances. Next one is 0.5. The numbers in the parentheses indicate silence measured in seconds and tenths of a second. Then a period in the parentheses indicates a micropause of less than 0.2 seconds. Next one is a period, which indicates a falling or final intonation, not necessarily the end of a sentence. Then the question mark indicates rising intonation, not necessarily a question. Then the last one is a comma, which indicates continuing intonation. These are only some of the symbols that I brought in this video. There are more that you will be learning when you take this course. In this video, we talked about basic theories of conversation analysis. I hope this video has been helpful to those who will be taking conversation analysis in the future. When you have collected your data and you're in the stage of transcribing, it is important for you to understand some transcription symbols. The first one is overlap. The square brackets indicate onset and offset of overlapping talk. Next one is equal sign. The equal sign indicate no gap of silence between utterances. Then third, 0.5. The number in the parentheses indicate silence measured in seconds and tenths of a second. Next one is a period in the parentheses, which indicates a micropause of less than 0.2 seconds. And a period indicates a falling or final intonation, not necessarily the end of the sentence. Next one is a question mark, which indicates rising intonation. It's not necessarily a question mark. And the next one is a comma, which indicates continuing intonation. These are only some of the symbols that I brought in this video. There are more that you'll be learning when you take this course. In this video, we talked about basic theories of conversation analysis. I hope this video has been helpful to those who will be taking this course in the future.